see how our time together unfolds. Well, if this is your first time joining us, welcome. Hi, Joe. It's nice to meet you. You're from Chester, UK. Joe, I don't think we've connected before, so it's lovely to meet you. And if we have, forgive me. It's good to see you again. Hey, Anik, nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here. It's good to see you. Hope you're having a great day. Hey, Victor, coming in from Dallas. Hey, Nathan, what's up, brother? Nice to see you all. I see we've got some more people beginning to pop in. I see Lori from Madison, Wisconsin. It's funny how how our little icons that we select for ourselves and how we interface with the world, how they show up on my screen. Some of them are very easy to see. Some of them are a little trickier for some reason. I don't know why that is. So it's always nice whenever you reach out. I appreciate that. So today, August 24th, my thoughts exactly. Where did the year go? It's August 24th. And starting today, Uranus, the planet of transformation and change, is going in retrograde. And it'll be in retrograde until January 22nd of next year. So for the rest of the year, we're going to have this influence in our sky. And it's actually probably a very helpful thing. So Uranus, as you know, it's an outer sitting planet, which in the astrological sense, people will frequently refer to that as a generational planet, which means Uranus, Neptune, Pluto tend to have more effect on your life as a whole, longer time frames as opposed to shorter intermittent periods for the bodies that are a little bit closer to us. That's just one theory. But I find it interesting because Uranus is a very intense planet. When we think of the energy of Uranus, we think of that of rebellion, of transformation, of change, of shift. There's lightning bolts. It's also very illuminating. It's an illuminating planet. Uranus shows up whenever we need a good swift kick in the pants, really. And it forces us to stand up and live more fully in our potential. So when Uranus begins to show up for you, for all of us, sometimes it's very unpredictable because how it will show up for you can be very different than how it would show up for me. So it's not as predictive as some of our other planets, and that makes sense. It's like the lightning bolt of change. But fortunately, whenever a planet moves in retrograde, which just basically means that we perceive that the planet in the sky is moving backwards, even though it's not. It's just a function of the positioning between where we are and where the planet is. When retrograde begins to happen, it actually slows down the intensity of that celestial body, and it gives us time to shift within and actually really consider on a gentler level of how to implement whatever it is that we're needing to implement based on the planet going in retrograde. So Uranus is basically, if it had a mantra, it would be change or die, which is pretty intense. And yet often needed, right? Because a lot of times it's really easy to get comfy and kind of lulled into things that are sort of working and not actually really owning and stepping in to the fullness of who we are to make our life work even better, right? We get lulled into this complacency. Uranus shows up and is like, no siree, get your act together. And I can say that because Uranus is showing up in my life right now. And that's pretty good. Sometimes it's all a matter of perspective. So whenever we have this retrograde period, we're supported by the energy of being able to kind of slow the electricity, turn within and say, you know what? here's something that we can fix. Here's something that I can shift. Here are ways that I can show up better in the world, right? Something that feels better, that's for the greater good. It actually supports my individuality. Selfishly, I'm supporting my own individuality so that I can selfishly support everyone's individuality as the collective. So today is all about this doorway to liberation. Liberation's door is not nearly as elusive as we often think it is. I find the wall on the other side that kind of separates where we are from what we perceive as liberation is often dark and murky and filled with fear, uncertainty, almost like a wallpaper of anxiety and mixed mind. And yet on the other side, we never know how wonderful it is until we get there. So today, let's see if we can't start breaking down some of that wall. Tearing off some of that wallpaper, making it a little less scary, just to kind of open that key and say, let's pop this door open and walk through. What is on my other side? What does my liberation look like? So, I'm excited to pursue that with you today. Hey, Rich, joining us from Virginia. It's nice to see you. Yeah, a lot of shifting internal and externally happening for you. Yep, challenging, but also energizing, exciting, and liberating. Getting ready for all the good stuff that's coming. You know, and I find it really interesting, too, that the universe grants us enough grace that for as exacerbating as Uranus's energy can frequently be, these lightning bolts, both of destruction of these beautiful structures that we perceived were working for us, as well as also enlightening bolts, so bringing us a greater connection, a greater understanding. You know, Uranus retrograde actually is in retrograde usually about 40% of the year. So it's kind of a nice soft way to more gently deal with the things that really need to be dealt with in the midst of all the other chaos. Side note, just this is kind of fun. We're actually coming into retrograde season. It's like kitten season. They're not nearly as cute, but much more effective. Retrograde season, lots of planets are slowing down, giving us time to turn in, but they're all kind of accumulating at once. So there's a critical mass of transformation that's happening. So, Rich, I am not surprised to hear you saying that you're preparing and moving through these particular shifts. It's fantastic. So cool. Hey, Gaynor, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I always love your beautiful little yellow flower that I see sitting beside your name. It's a happy flower. Anna, yeah, the doorway to liberation. That is the path. So for those of you who are joining us for the first or relatively new to this experience, welcome. Let me kind of tell you what's going on. So in front of me, there's 13 chromatically tuned crystal singing bowls. The bowls are made of 99.999% quartz crystal, which just means that they conduct electricity unlike anything else. And which is probably pretty good with as much electricity going on in the air right now from Uranus. But why it's important is it because, you know, a lot of times we don't consider this, but you are an electrical being. Your body is electricity. It's filled with currents and flow. Voltage, you actually have your own voltage. pH is connected to an aspect of your voltage, of the electricity coming through your system. So when we say that the vibe is real, it really is electric. You actually sense it. Sometimes it can be shocking. And that's not just when you take your blankets out of the dryer, which I need to do. So the bowls will begin to resonate and vibrate and actually start to show me what vibrations right now would be beneficial for this space. And they do it in a combination of ways. I see it visually, I also hear the bowls, and I can begin to sense where the vibrations are becoming stronger, almost ebbing or flowing and ebbing, much like the tides coming onto the sand. So it's my job to listen to the energy that you're generating and creating and sharing today as a group, as well as taking in the intention of whatever we're working today specifically Liberation's Door, and beginning to flow vibration from the bowls to you to help release and renew. So we divide our time into 3 main sections. We like to start by retuning, just to bring us all into the same space. Then we begin to release, because once we release, we can receive. We can bring the energy in, the vibrations in, that might be better suited for us right here and right now. There's no right or wrong way to participate. You can passively listen. You can actively be a part of the meditation. Every day it'll be a little different for you based on what's going on in your body. So I welcome you to honor that. Honor where you are today, right now, for it's perfect. There's no need to do. All you got to do is be. So I invite you to find a comfortable, settled position. I invite you to begin just to kind of tune into yourself. No pun intended. And see if you just can't find a center point of your space, wherever that is right now. Where is your attention drawn towards right now? Right now I feel like mine's kind of sitting off a little bit here, off my point of center. So I'm going to just gently invite my perception of myself to come back into a center point of alignment. And for me, I'm going to focus right now just on my heart. Mostly because that feels good to my system today. Good. So wherever you need to focus, some of you might find a little more comfort sitting in the middle of your head. That's fine. Just move to the center part of your head. Good. Some of you may want to go ahead and already drop down a little lower in your body, maybe into your solar plexus or even into that sacral chakra, the base of your spine. Some people may find that you're in your feet or your knees, wherever you are. See if we just can't come to centered alignment. Good. Now I invite you to shift your attention to the base of your spine, to this first chakra. Let's see if we can't begin just to tune in to the frequency of the planet. Let's go ahead and just get grounded into the here and now. Whatever grounding practice you have, I invite you now to begin. If you don't have a grounding practice, you may want to try thinking, imagining, or feeling a golden cord of light descending from your sacral chakra, the base of your spine, your sacrum, all the way down into the very center part of the earth, where that cord begins to root, grasp, and hold firmly to the core of the planet. See if that feels good to you. Good. Good. feels comfortable right now. Engaging with this physical location helps us activate these energies even further. Transformation raises a lot of questions posed by our ego. When we transform ourselves, we're often confronted with, is that the right choice? Is this the best I could do? Oh my gosh, why aren't... No. This is ego mind that loves to jump in and try to thwart our efforts. Why do you need to change? Everything's okay as it is. You're not going to say anything any differently. Besides, what if people don't like how you change? What if they don't understand you? What if they don't get you? It's kind of freaky. Why would you do that? You know, it's a lot easier if you don't. You don't need to. Somebody else will take care of it for you. It's fine. These energies begin to build within our space and keep us from our fullest potential. They keep us from our fullest potential because we've chosen to give up our own sovereignty of choice. And choice brings us our ultimate illumination. So let's see if we can't use the breath and all that beautiful life force that you just witnessed beginning to flow and pulsate in your system to move out some of those thoughts, feelings, emotions, colors, sounds, vibrations that might otherwise keep you limited where you currently are, as opposed to where you can be. Allow your breath to take you throughout your space, pulsating against whatever blockage you may come up against. Maybe an energy blockage, you may actually feel the vibration pulsating against something in your space. It may be a verbal disconnect. You may begin to see these vibrations just coating over that negative self-talk or limiting beliefs or fear of action. Whatever it is, just release. beginning to settle down a little bit. Are you ready to release some more? Forward in a powerful way. Your third chakra. Just begin to bring your attention to your solar plexus. You may want to place a hand just gently over your stomach area here, if that feels good to you. Kind of more powerfully focus your intention into this area. For sustaining us in this world, moving us forward. Begin to put your attention actually just at the base of your neck. So we have a small chakra sitting up right the base of our neck, right where our neck and our head connect. Just put your gentle attention in this place where so many of us will frequently experience headaches or tension. Just allow that tension to begin to dissolve. Rumi actually challenges us to consider a slightly different perspective. He says, you're committing all the bad deeds, yet you are expecting good returns. Though God is compassionate and generous, you can't harvest wheat if you plant barley. You can't harvest wheat if you plant barley. You can't harvest wheat if you've planted barley. So now in all of this new space that you've generated, your field of infinite possibility, what kind of crop would you like to plant? More importantly, what would you like to reap? Perhaps it's healing. Perhaps it's a recognition of wholeness. Perhaps it's enthusiasm for life. Perhaps it's a return to happiness. Perhaps it's abundance or prosperity. Perhaps it's humility. What is it for you? And remember, you have infinite number of fields that cultivate a field of liberation for you. Let's just go through the doorway of one today. If you could grow one crop, what would it be? What would you love to see overflowing, full of vitality and life and abundance in your fields? What crop would you like to gather for your own heart to nourish your soul? Think, imagine, or feel whatever that is for you. It may be a word, it could be a feeling. Let's vibrate that. Let's vibrate. What does it feel like in your body to already be experiencing this crop, this abundant, nourishing, life-giving transformation, something different that you haven't perhaps had in your life, or maybe you've missed it? How does that make you feel? recognition of your wholeness. Begin to gently bring your attention back towards your body. You may begin to adjust. Feel your fingers and your toes, perhaps in a new way than you had felt just an hour ago. Just begin to, at your own pace, return your consciousness more, become a little bit more awakened in this state. How are you feeling? How was that? planet of change and transformation. Did you feel that today? Tell me what you were feeling. Tell me how you feel now. Drop it in the chat. I'd love to hear and share with you what the bowls spoke today, which was, as always, exciting. Oh, goodness. You know, I've been encouraged to expect the unexpected, but I'm always humbled when the unexpected happens. Can you double conjugate that? Unexpected. That's kind of what was going on today. The bowls were, when we first started and when I first sat, they were cultivating a general space, and it felt very much like Uranus. And I thought that's interesting. And why I thought it felt like Uranus is I've actually spent the entire morning working on a track about Uranus, another meditation track, music track, and with a specific tuning and whatnot. And while these bowls don't directly relate to the very specific tuning of Uranus, because you know every planet has its own tuning frequency, it's more about the relationship of pitches that really indicate shift or changes as to what's going on. So I noticed this really kind of planet of transformation and change. I noticed this really shifting but beautiful kind of ebb and flow vibration. If you're not back with this yet, you're about to be. Forgive me all the excitement outside. I love it. Brings us back to attention. So I noticed all this lovely melodic kind of sound, but today, during our time together, the bowls were very much like, no, we're going to focus over here. Okay, let's come over here. Oh, we're totally done. We're going over here. There was so much shifting. There was a lot of different elements, different sounds, pitches that would not necessarily we would think would be as harmonious together, and yet we were just kind of guided towards these different vibrations and frequencies because they all serve a purpose, right? So perhaps it was a function of representing the different shifts and changes that accompany transformation. And those shifts and changes usually aren't expected, right? If we expect something, we're actually in our ego. We're not necessarily in the flow. A lot of times the expectation is what limits the flow, the potential, the possibility. So it was interesting to watch that sort of jump around. It was interesting to feel into the group today as well. There was a lot of differing places in which we find ourselves. And as Rich at the very beginning was talking about, he's going through this time of transformation as well, and we were talking about all these planets about to go into retrograde, coming into a retro season. You know, a lot of it begins to make a heck of a lot of sense. So I'm going to go through the comments and see how we're feeling today. I just saw Nathan, and I'll come back to it as well, but I just saw something, Nathan was talking about dissonance. Yeah, that was the other big thing. There was a lot of dissonance that's used. You know, it's funny because for those of you who have more of a consistent crystal bowl practice, I don't know, is that a thing? Who join us frequently, you know that we talk about this a lot. We talk about the use of consonants, beautiful sounding intervals, and dissonance. And what they do within the body, the dissonance being, it gets in and it breaks up. And it's not always the most comfortable shifts, but whenever it releases, suddenly we have more space to breathe. We have more space to move. So yeah, the bowls were doing a lot of that today. I almost thought, do I need to pull this back? Because it was kind of intense. So I hope it wasn't too intense for some of you. And if that ever is the case, just pull back on your own. Sometimes the bowls can guide us into a place, but we have to choose if we're going to follow that same path. And then you don't always have to, right? This is your journey. These are just suggestions. you love the different angles. Yeah, it is a beautiful room. That's thanks to my wonderful, charming, delightful husband, Jeremy. He's actually a filmmaker, so it's very handy. And we're just doing this out of my studio. We have a little space that we're able to dedicate for the bowls. So he's done such a beautiful job creating a lovely atmosphere that we can just settle into peace. Even whenever the yardmen are doing their tasks, living their dharma, which I'm very thankful for, especially in 96 degrees in Florida and this fair skin. It's not happening. I can do a lot of things. I don't think that one is in my wheelhouse. So I'm very thankful. So, yeah, Joe, it is a magical process. Thank you for your kindness. I appreciate that. Nathan, the bowl's occasional dissonance was a catalyst for reminding me of the difficulty of transformation. Amen. Yep. If it was easy, everybody'd do it. So hooray for you for showing up for yourself. It's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Nathan. Rich, you're feeling comfortably embodied, grounded. Good, good. Gave yourself a long leg massage with a massage oil I love with lavender. Oh, and lavender's so peaceful and has such a beautiful frequency unto itself. I bet your body's just floating in that transforming goo of goodness. That's so neat. Thanks for sharing, Rich. Anik, compassion, joy, and childlike curiosity is what came through for me today. Wow. Wow, that's so neat. Surrender and release of any expectations. Yeah. Exactly. The surrender and release of any expectations takes us back to that childlike innocence. Oh, that sounds so magical. Oh, that's really lovely. Isn't that interesting how transformation happens differently for everybody? I mean, we're all in different phases, points. We all have different needs. We're all filling this universal vacuum in our own unique ways. That's cool. Thanks for sharing. I love that. Rich, you took a long walk in the woods earlier? Yep. So your legs were definitely loving the soothing attention. Yes. Does anybody else love a good leg massage? Throw some hearts up, because somebody put hearts in there for me, because that would, I would, there's something so grounding to my system of just being able to release, especially my calves. I don't know about you, but my calves and my feet. It's funny, we all hold tension in different ways, right? That's nice. Rich, I'm just picturing Rich walking in the woods. Nathan, you love the new profile picture. Thank you. That's also Jeremy's doing. Good old Hubs. He did that. He changed the profile picture for us. So yeah, that's very exciting. I appreciate you saying that. He's very proud of himself. And I think he did a good job picking. We have, it's always fun to be able to co-create with like-minded creatives, with people who have a desire to bring goodness into the world and light, whatever that is, but also to experience and walk through humanity for its mountains and valleys, the depths and, the high points. So those shoots that we get to do and that we've done, we're very blessed to be able to create with people who really tap into these different energies. So it's a lot of fun. And of course, too, it's interesting. Music is something that we can't see, right? Most people can't see the sound waves. So having a visual connection, sometimes I find makes these sound waves a little bit more real. Our understanding is based on what we accumulate with our senses. So sometimes engaging multiple senses can be very impactful. And I think solidify something that might be a little bit more intangible otherwise. So it's a lot of fun. Nathan, thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate that. That's so kind of you. Thank you. I thank all all of you for being here. It's always such a joy. Today was definitely a different energy, its own unique energy, but always, always such an incredible experience. And I thank you for gifting that to me as well. And I'm looking forward. We'll actually be here every day now here for a while. We'll be here on Thursday, tomorrow morning, if I can say that, Thursday, at 9 a.m. We'll be looking at charm and attraction. Then on Friday, again at 9 a.m. These are both all Eastern times. Eastern daylight? I'm not sure. Eastern time. Daylight savings time always blows my brain. Blows my mind. So Friday will be emotional diving. It'll be a good Friday topic. Yeah. And then Saturday, we've got the new moon. So we're going to dive into some practical magic with the new moon, because that just sounded like fun. And then that's the Saturday is at 11 a.m. And I am so excited about Sunday. So Sunday we are doing a healing circle with crystal singing bowls. And what that is that we're going to dedicate, we're actually going to be a slightly longer class. It'll probably be about an hour and 15 minutes. We'll start at 12:25. So we'll have a nice 5-minute kind of intro, sort of get us all into the same space and understand what'll happen. But what we're going to do is that we're going to take 10 minutes 6 times and devote our intention, our affirmations, any prayers you want to lift up, anything that you want to speak and articulate, or if you just want to listen to the bowls. And we're going to use the bowls to vibrate and strengthen an intention of healing and restoration to an individual soul, a friend, a brother, a sister. If that sounds something that appeals to you, or if you know of someone like, oh, this would be perfect for them, please share this event with them. If you want to be one of the 6 that we will focus on for our main hour, we'll start from 12:30 to 12:40, we'll be the first person, to 12:50 will be the second person, to 1 o'clock will be the third, and etc. So if that's something that resonates with you, go ahead please and reach out. Just go ahead and direct message me right now, and I'll send you the information of what it is that we need and what would be happening, and if that's something that you're comfortable with. Just basically sharing your name, possibly where you're from, if you're comfortable with that, and what it is that you're looking to bring back to wholeness. So for instance, if it were me, and I'm making this up, but I'm Charleene from Omaha, Nebraska. And I'm looking to have complete restoration and return from my physical body, from my breathing apparatus, and my release of asthma. And we'll chime in. I'll have some different affirmations for each of the different situations that we're looking to return to wholeness. And then at the very end, we'll magnify the benefits. And what that means is that, see, whenever we bring forth healing intention for someone else, not only are we working and creating the healing opportunity for that person, we have the opportunity to magnify the benefits for the collective, for the whole. In the very end, we'll do that. We'll resonate. The energy that we've generated in this healing circle, we'll give it out, give it back, spread to the rest of the world. So for anyone, whether their name is Charleene and whether they're from Omaha, Nebraska or not, but that they're dealing with a breathing problem, can begin to feel that same healing resonance and vibration. And they can choose to accept it or not, consciously or not. It's the power of intention. Intention has been shown scientifically to, well, we know about the placebo effect, right? So many studies that when we believe, it happens. And so it is when we get out of our own way. So the bowls help us get out of our own way to elicit, to bring in that healing, not only for ourselves, but for others. And what could be more selfless than offering a gift of love, compassion, and healing to someone maybe you don't even know? But you do know on a soul level. So I'm super stoked about Sunday. So please, please, please join us if that feels good to you. I just put up the event today, so if you want to pop over to the teacher's page whenever we're done, you can go through and make sure that you get the notification for that event. Again, it's called a healing circle. So, Gainer, oh, thank you so much for your kind words. It's always my pleasure, my friend. Monica, yeah, it is awesome, isn't it? So much good stuff going on. Rich, yeah. Part of what was coming through for you was how important it is for you to make time for you to slow down, feel, take care, and nurture your body. Exactly. Well said. So important. We have to love ourselves first, right? Thank you for loving yourself. It's incredible. And thank you for your donation, Rich. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Monica, it is a great message that Rich has. So, so true. Hi, Sherry. Yeah, perfect. Sherry, so this, thank you for sharing. You're coming in from Georgia, and you're also asking for the healing of an elderly man recovering from COVID, and he wants to breathe. All right, so we have a couple of minutes if you'd like to stay around. So this session we weren't even going to do until Sunday, but why don't we just go ahead and start just a quick of what something like this might look like. Because if we don't have our breath, what do we have? If we don't have our health, what do we have? If you have a few moments, just hang with us just for a second. So begin just to draw your attention to a central point of light in front of you. And from this center point, begin to gently guide an intention from deep within your belly, your heart, towards that center point of light. And this is an intention of wholeness. And more specifically, this is an intention of breath. And I invite you to take a deep inhale, hold for a moment, and then direct your exhale into that point of light and imagine that you are exhaling golden light into that beautiful space in front of us. Let's do that again. So inhale, beautiful. Hold, intensify your intention of healing and light and send that light forward. Yes. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale. Good. Exhale forward. Beautiful. Now keep your attention focused on this ray of light that's sitting in front of all of us right now here in the center of this circle in which we found ourselves today. And we're going to begin to gently send this healing light to our friend, to Sherry's friend, this beautiful soul embodied as a man recovering right now from COVID. We claim healing and restoration. We claim ease and effortless of breath. We claim joyful laughter begin to fill his lungs and fill his space. We offer him the opportunity to accept whatever this healing energy is that feels good and right to him. And we celebrate his return to wholeness. Take a deep inhale. Hold within you and feel that life force, feel that laughter, feel that joy in your lungs right now. Good. Then release it and send it back into that healing circle. Perfect. And so it is. And so it is. We uplift everyone right now who is dealing with current or long-term effects of COVID. We celebrate the lessons, the opportunity, the growth, the challenges that this disease has presented, not only us as individuals, but us as a collective, as a society. We welcome in these new nuggets of growth and understanding. And from that place, we receive with joy the healing that is ours, that is our divine birthright. We welcome in that return to wholeness. So it is. So that's just a little tiny snippet of what the power of the collective can do, right? So, Sherry, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. We're sending our thoughts, our prayers, and our love to your friend. You know, we always tend to be at the right place at the right time for whatever reason. And it sounds like you were at the right place at the right time for this beautiful soul. Please give him our love. Yeah. And if, friends, if this feels like it's something that feels good to you, just drop me a direct message and we'll go ahead and get people started to get slated in and building out the calendar. And whether this is something that you want healing or healing for someone else, whatever it is, let's do it. It'll be fun. Become yoga. Oh, it's my pleasure. Rich, yeah, see, community already connecting. Sherry, much healing and love. Yep, and energy. It's so good. It's what we need. Anik, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. Thanks, sister. Sherry, yeah, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. You know, if we can't love each other, what can we do? We have a choice to walk through doorways of liberation each and every day. Sometimes the doorways are fast and grand and you walk into the other side and it's literally as though the angels are singing and bringing you through and you think, wow, look what I just did. And then there's other days where sometimes the transformation maybe is not as profound and yet you still showed up and you did the work and you released things that had you limited. So today I celebrate you for making the choice, for showing up for yourself and for showing up for others. May your day be blessed and bright. May you always know that you resonate with power and strength. Your sovereignty exists whether you remember it or not. May you always remember your sovereignty. And may you always know liberation is right here. Until we see you again. Sat Nam, my friends. I love you.